Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully updated one of the jQuery. That means right now whatever the images will be selected, this image will be loaded, right? So right now I want to complete our update portion. That means I want to store this data. So if you want to do that work, right now they have also another form. You can see in our view profile edit page there is one of the form. So into the form area, first of all we have to add one of the method. Our method will be obviously one of the post method, and also we have to add one of the action, and our action area I have to define one of the route, right? So now I want to simply create one of the route. Okay, our route will be, I name it as a profile store. Okay, profile.store or update, whatever you actually choose. So this type of one of the route I want to create, and also from to this position I updated one of the images, right? So as in fundamental, as I told you friend, when you update an image, make that sure you add that NC type multiple form data, that is multi-part form data. So that means the NC type will be as a multi-part, and then form data. Okay, multi-part form and then data. So that will be our NC type, and make that sure after that you have to add that CSRF token, right? So without CSRF token you are not able to insert this data, so I make it as a CSRF token. Perfect. So that's all. Okay, so that's all for our this form. So now we have to create this route, and now go to our web route. I copy it and then I paste it. So in our edit profile, I have created one of the route will be as a profile store. So I name it as a profile store, and also I want to update as a user profile, not that edit store, that will be our route. And in our main user controller I want to create one of the method. Our method will be as a store. Okay, that means the user profile store. Okay friend, I hope it's very much clear to you. So and also that method, so our method will be obviously as a post method, because here I want to store this data. So make that sure you update your route. Our route will be as a post method. Okay, so now we have to create this method in our main user controller. Now go to our main user controller. After this I simply name it as a public, and then function, and then our user store, that means user profile store. So as I told you before, when you're working with the post method, then you have to pass it the request. Okay, request and then $request. So, right, so that is a request and the $request. Perfect. So now I want to store all the data in our this user, right? So that means in our user table. So into the user table, if you want to do that work, right now here we don't need this CDN, we don't need this bootstrap, also here we don't need this, I remove it. Okay, I close it. So now first of all I want to get a specific our authenticated user ID data, which user is already logged in. So I take another variable as a data, and then our user model. So I have already load our user model, right? You can say I have already load, that means use our user model. So now we can actually use it. So with this user model I want to find our specific authenticated ID data, that means auth user, and then auth user with this auth user ID. Okay, so I simply get it, and then I want to add with this data I want to access our database field name, as a name and then email, right? So that is our name, and will be our requested name, that request. And into the requested, if you go to our edit profile, from here I updated that name. You can see the name is the name, right? So that will be our requested name. So I simply added that requested name, and also we have to do the same things for our email. So with this data I put that as email, that is our database field name, or database field name as a email, right? So that will be email, and then our request and requested field name, our requested field name also the same as an email, you can see. So that will be as an email. Perfect. So now we have to also save our image, right? So for the image, if you go, you can see for the images I didn't add any name. So first of all I want to also add one of the name. I put that name, and I always actually prefer to use that appropriate our database field name. If you go to our user table structure, so that is our image field name as a profile photo path, right? So now I want to use it, I name it as a profile photo path. Perfect. So that is actually of this requested field name. Okay, and that means user table, and this requested field name, that will be as a name I have updated as a profile photo path. Perfect. Now go to here. Now I have to also store that image, right? So in fundamental I have already discussed about that things with you. So now we have to actually do the same things. Into the if condition I put one of the if condition, and here better I put on the note, that is actually our AND method. Okay, that is our AND method. So into the if condition I want to then first of all pass our request, our requested our file name, requested file name. I just simply name it. I name it in our edit page, that is actually the name as a profile photo path. I copy it. Okay, I copy it, that will be as a profile photo path. Perfect. So now I want to do and to put that condition, I take one of the variable as a file. Into the file area I want to pass our this requested file path, that means simply this one. Okay, I copy it, so that will be our requested file path. That means whatever the images you will choose from to this position. Okay, so whatever the images you will choose from to this position, so that is actually our image. Okay, so that is our requested file and our file path name, that means our file name as a this one as a profile photo path, right? So I just simply take it and I just take the things with this variable. Okay, I make the sure add that semicolon, and I just take the things with this variable as a file. Okay friends, so now I want to first of all generate one of the ID, because this image when it should be inserted in our database, so it should be inserted with generated by a specific one of the ID data. So now I want to take another variable and then name it as a file name. Okay, our file name will be, I put as a date format some of the file name. Okay, I take as a date format as a year, month, day, hour, and then AM or PM. So with this I want to add that whatever the image will be uploaded from our request, I take the things with this variable. So here I simply take it, and also want to get our extension, that means our whatever the file you will upload it, and that is actually our extension as a .png, .jpg, right? So that is actually our this dot, and then whatever the file you uploaded. So I want to take it, so that will be actually another function as a get client original name. Okay, so that is actually one of the default function. I want to use it. Now I have to select this path. That means I want to upload that things in our public. Into the upload folder I have created one of the folder name as a user images. So here I want to save it. So now we have to set it. So here I want to do with this whatever the file will be uploaded. Okay, I want to move it, so that will be as a move into move in our public path, into the public, and then underscore path. Okay, into the public path area I have created one of the folder as a upload, and into the upload folder I have created as a user images, right? So that is our public path I have created as an upload folder. Into the upload folder, that is our image user images. So I simply add that path. Okay, so that will be saved in particular that area. Okay, and after that I want to add that with our this specific file name, that means that this file name. So now I want to pass this file name. Okay, so I simply pass it. Perfect. So now I simply add it. I hope friend it is very much clear to you, right? And after that I want to add that our field name, that means our database field name, our database, that means here also it should be inserted in our database. Into the database our field name as a file photo, right? In our user table our file photo path, that is the same name, so that is our database field name. Okay, and our database field name here which will be saved, I take everything, that means this data, and I just take the things with this variable. So now I simply pass it with this name, it should be inserted in our database field area. And after that I want to save it, that means with this data I want to save it. Okay, so with this data I simply save it. Perfect. And when it will be saved I want to return redirect, that means the return and the redirect. Okay, return redirect to one of the route. Here I want to pass one of the route. You can also use that toaster better. In our next video I will discuss about that things with you, how can add that toaster. In fundamental I have already shared everything, but right now I also want to share that things with you. Okay, so right now there is return redirect. I want to add on the route. Okay, I want to add on the route into the route area, where actually it will be redirected. It will be redirected to our this user profile. Okay, yeah, profile page. Here I want to redirect it as a user profile. I copy it, so that will be as a user profile. So right now I want to do and to redirect to a particular this page. When everything okay, it should be inserted the data, and then it should be returned redirect to our user profile page. Okay friend, so that's all. So now let's check this out. If everything okay, it should be inserted. Now click as a save all, and now go there, click as a refresh. So now I want to do only to update our username as a user1, right? So if you go to that browse, into the browser, right now there is a name, email, and that is our field is totally empty. So now I simply use it, and I want to choose one of the user image. So right now I choose this one. Okay, I choose this type of one of the image. Rather than better, I want to choose this one. So this one. Now if everything okay, it should be inserted this image in particular this folder, right? So now right now this folder is totally empty. Let's check this out. If you click as a update, yes, you can see friend, now it's perfectly updated, and then it's returned direct to our user profile. So here I just simply put that condition. When it will be done, then it will be returned direct to our user profile page, and that is our user profile page is now successfully redirected. Before that was actually default image. Right now everything will be more clear to you. And also you can see friend, our username is updated as a user1. And if you go to that folder, yes, you can see it's now perfectly generated with the date format, our image, and image is successfully inserted in our user images. Okay, and into the profile page, into our user profile page, here I have already declared one of things. I hope now it should be very much clear to you. In our view profile, here you can see when it should be not empty user. With this user, now I want to access our profile, that means our profile photos, our database field name, and our URL I set it from our upload folder, user images with this user, that is the profile path, right? So in our database, if you now click as a browse, you can see it's now successfully updated in particular that area. So right now I simply load it. You can see that is with this user, I simply load our this photo field, that means the profile photo path. So for the reasons you can see it's now perfectly visible. So if there have any image in our database field, that means in our database this field area, that will be display this image, rather than it will be display one of the default image, right? So now it's successfully updated. Okay friend, so here it's not actually display any messages because of all I didn't add any toaster. So better in fundamental I have already discussed about that things with you, how can add that toaster. So in our next video I will discuss about that things with you, how can add the toaster. Okay, but here we successfully complete our edit profile, so everything is great. And here one things I want to share with you, like you can see this image is not visible in our edit profile. First of all, I also want to check it. If you go to our edit profile, here it should be display, right? Here it should be display. You can see it's not display because of all I am using that user, but in our edit, that means our profile edit, from to this position I pass it. In our view profile edit, you can see I pass that a specific find out data, take the things with this variable, and here I pass that as a edit data. So now it should be obviously as a edit data. So in our edit, that means the profile edit page, here I pass. Before in view page I pass that user, so but in our edit page I pass that variable as the edit data, right? So now that will be also with this edit data. Okay, so now it should be display. Now click as a save all. That means by default there is a default as a no picture. So right now I have already uploaded one of the image, so now it should be visible. Yes, you can see it's now perfectly visible, right friends? So, but here one thing's like if you go, so right now there is one image. Okay, so now if you want to access that means you want to update new one, like I show you, I choose this one, click as open, and now if you want to update that username again. Now click as update. Now you can see our image is totally updated, right? And username is also updated. But if you go to our folder, you can see there is actually the two images right now. Okay friends, so here I don't want to add this type of one of the things. When I update the same user, automatically it will be replaced with our new user. Okay, that means our old one will be deleted and then our new one will be replaced with our old one. So how can do that work? For doing this is pretty much easy. So here you have to update your store condition, that is our file path. So here only you have to unlink your photo. So I just simply add one of the unlink function as a as a unlink. So that is one of the Laravel default function as a unlink. And unlink from where? I want to unlink from our this folder, right? So from to this position I want to unlink. So that means our public path. So that will be actually just like same. That is our public path. So into the public path area, I have created one of the folder. I have created the folder as upload, and then user image, right? That is images folder. So from to this position, I want to pass it with this data. So right now I am using this data. So with this data, I want to access our database field name. That is our file name as a profile photos. So now I simply pass it. So that's all. Okay, so that's all you have to do. So now automatically whatever the new image will be uploaded, it will be replaced with our this specific folder, this image. Okay, so that's all. Now if we want to check it, now click as a save all. I want to check it right now. Click as a refresh. So right now friend, that is our image, right? So and also there have the two images is now inserted. So now I want to replace this image. Okay, now it should be insert new one. I show you, click as edit. Now I want to change it. I want to change it with our like this image. Okay, I choose it. Now open it. Now click as update. Yes, you can see it's now updated successfully. So it's now updated. But right now if you go there, yes, you can see it's now unlink our previous one and inserted new one. Okay friend, I hope it is very much clear to you. So that is our unlink function, and our every data is inserted successfully. But here it's not display our toaster. Okay, so in fundamental I have already discussed about that things with you, how can working with the toaster. So better I want to get all that data, that means all that code from our previous section, and then we'll get it and we'll add the things on here. Okay, so how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.